So I just came back home from the hospital and I decided I'll record this video to give an update on exactly what has been up with regard to the trading journey. I started the FTMO challenge, the 10K challenge, last week. I'm currently up 1.5%, and yeah. So this is a challenge I didn't pay for again, because I paid for it in August. Didn't exactly pass. Made only $18 of profit in the end, which was quite a miracle, and I'll show that on the chart because I had a pretty rough time taking the challenge. The psychology and the strategy I was having had a lot of problems. My risk management plan had issues. So I learned a lot from that experience, but I decided that I was going to take time for myself, enjoy the time I had at home, and then study the ICT mentorship. So that's what I did. So I did study the ICT mentorship. There's something strange about recording on the phone. Do I look at the camera or do I look at myself? I'll try this one. So I started the ICT mentorship 2022 while I was backtesting my old strategy after failing the challenge, in essence. And, it reviewed some very interesting things. I decided to take time for myself. I actually contacted FTMO and they said I have 6 months before the credentials for the challenge expires, right? So that was pretty good. And I decided to take time for myself, study the mentorship, and then when I feel ready enough, I start the challenge. So I've been working in my personal life. Things have been quite rough, because you can't have consistency in trading if you don't have consistency in real life. And that was a bit of a challenge, trying to find, the motivation to enjoy school again and all that. So I can just tell from here. Yeah, that's why I took 35 trades, right? It's a lot. That's way too many trades. So yeah, that was the first one. And currently this is the second one that I'm doing. So it had been pretty rough, but I just figured that I just have to set things in motion and do this. I have everything that I needed, right? I have the credentials, I have a working model, my psychology is I have a good understanding of trading psychology. All I have to do is start. If you don't start, you don't know where the faults are to correct them. So here I am. And trading demo is definitely not the same as trading on a live account or a funded challenge. So yeah, I started this low because this is how much I have. I mean, if I could afford 100K, I'd start with 100K, right? But I believe there's some value in starting from the bottom and rising. So that's the plan. I'll use this 10K, the profit splits from this 10K account to fund for bigger challenges going forward. So the first trading week was awesome. I loved it. It was NFP. We had NFP on Friday and high impact news on Wednesday. But there's something beautiful about understanding price action the way ICT teaches it that I totally love. It's beautiful, right? Like being able to catch these moves and understand why they happen, even the ones you catch on demo, right? It's awesome. Of course, I know I still have a lot to learn, and I believe I'll learn a lot by experience. So, there's no need to sit on the sidelines and hope. I have to start aggressively. So yeah, that's basically it. I believe the issues I have currently is not even trading related. No, I just need to find a routine and get more productive. That's my issue. I have to be in class right now. In 11 minutes probably, 1:30, but I'm not gonna go because I have a bit of a pain in my tummy, so I'm skipping class today. But yeah, basically I'm a medical student and I'm a trader. These things don't get in the way, not anymore. I no longer have the issue of having to spend hours on the chart. Like, I know how to do this the correct way. I set an alert when it triggers. I come, look for my setup, I trade, I journal. That's it. So thankfully I found some pretty good tools. I'm using Notion for journaling. That's something I discovered 2 weeks ago, so it's been very, very helpful, right? All I'm trying to get to is I miss enjoying medical school, right? There was a time when I loved learning in school, but it's not as fun, and there was a time when this really bothered me. But I feel like that's what trading does for me. It makes me realize that I can enjoy other things out of school and not feel stressed about the fact that school is not really going smooth. I have an exam in about 3 weeks or 2 weeks, thereabout. Yeah, like I said, I just have to start. I'll start. So I've started. Actually started. The first week was pretty good. I only fulfilled the 5 trading days. So I plays like small lots, micro lots every day to add up to the 10 trading days, and so far so good. Things are going pretty well. I just have other parts of my life that I have to focus on, like medical school. I I realize these two things are the biggest things I'm doing right now, and I can't let one slack. I always wanted to be a doctor. It's all I ever wanted. Finding trading was an amazing discovery because it makes medical school easier, and medical school makes trading easier. It relieves a lot of pressure, of thinking, okay, this is my last resort. If I don't pass this challenge, I'm done for. It's a very helpful. It's very helpful to have medical school. So yeah, I'm trying to be more productive and be more, and being productive also means focusing on the YouTube channel, because after I find consistency on YouTube, I'm going to start sharing my channel like with my friends and my family. Not a lot of people know about this channel. It's just like my personal archive. I just drop a video every couple of months. I don't want to do that anymore because I'm learning a lot from ICT, and it'll be fun to share some of these things that I do live, like reading the tape when I record myself, putting the annotations on the chart, like the order blocks, the fair value gaps, the institutional order flow, entry drills, and all of that. It's really fun, seeing price get delivered and reading the tape like that. The only problem I have is my Mac, the microphone in my Mac doesn't work anymore, so I don't know why. It gets turned on, but it doesn't record my voice, so it makes it a bit boring. So I tend to do that more on my phone. See, I believe in this dream, man. Like I think back to where I started, right? Like I have a book that I used to write all the things I used to study, from the candlestick trading Bible and moving averages, and bro, just literally last year, all I knew was how to use moving averages to trade. And shout out to that channel, man, the moving average. Like, shout out to every single trader who's helped me on my journey. Trader Nick, the moving average, Doyle Exchange. Thank you, bro. I met Danielle, ICT, Hannah Forex, Candice B, the Trading Nuts. Like, I love this journey, bro. I do. I'm in Jayu. I'm not gonna quit. I'm just, still going. So, it will be. Nyamoho. I'm a big believer in God and how his plans take time, and when the time is right, nothing's going to stop it. This is the time, man. I believe this is the time. All right, so this is what we have. This was the first challenge, and this is what I mean when I say this was pure grace, man. So this is what the equity curve looks like. I was having, a pretty normal time, and then I started losing and losing and losing, came up a little bit, came back down, came back up, came back down. So this is where things fell apart, right? Even all of these were normal, but in the middle here is when I lost track of my psychology. Like I was taking trades I shouldn't take, and it was all because of a rule that I made for myself, that I'm going to start the day by risking $50, which is 0.5%, and if I lose, I go to 0.25%. After much consideration, I've realized that 0.25% is a bad risk parameter for me, because it makes me more likely to rush into low probability setups, and they do pile up. So that explains why I took how many trades? Where do you even see that? There you go. So the metrics of this account, pretty good. 5 trading days already done. Profit of 1.5%, 1.49%, but if you want to be and this is the trades I took. So this is the first on January 30th, and then I play 0.01 lot sizes to fill in those minimum trading days. And yeah, that's about it. None of these stats say much. God willing, in the next week I'm gonna go again and see what I make of this. As far as the trade I took goes, this is it on Notion, USD CAD. So this is how I set up my Notion. Gave a bit of comments on exactly my thought process while taking the trade. Took it at a fair value gap, and this is what it looks like. So this is the 15-minute fair value gap I was looking at. And when price got in there, I tried to sell at this fair value gap after market structure shift, but then I was like, this is a pretty big drop, right? So what I did was I went to the 5-minute time frame and I found this 5-minute fair value gap formed from all these candles, right? And I used this 5-minute fair value gap as another POI to wait for a market structure shift on the 1-minute time frame right here, and then I sold here and took profit after a 3 hour. That was basically the first trade. This is the execution on MT5, and yeah, that's about it. So God willing, next week I'm gonna get back and see if I can find anything. I have a lot of work to do, not gonna lie. As far as journaling goes, I've been a bit lazy, but I'm gonna get to work and maybe do a bit of a time lapse. That'd be fun. Record me journaling and stuff, right? But first I have to study. I have to study 3 things. So I have to study bronchopneumopathie aiguë virale, which I already started. And then I have diabète de l'enfant, which is a pretty big one. It's a lot of pages. And then développement psychomoteur de l'enfant. So I'll start and I'll study these 2 and yeah, be back later. My room is a bit of a mess, but so I'm not gonna show you guys my room currently. But I use this clock sometimes to make time lapses. It's kind of fun. I think I'll do that again today to show exactly how long it's going to take me to finish those 3 lessons I'm going to study. So let's go. Okay, we're off. So try and fix this thing here. It moves around a lot because the stands got broken. Haven't used this in a while, so yeah, this is perfect. That's perfect. Better color. And yeah, now the time lapse. It's currently 4:25 and I decided to stop working. I've done 2 out of the 3 I wanted to finish. The last one's only 5 pages, but I decided to leave it for later. So I studied diabetes and bronchopneumopathie virale. It's like viral infections in the lungs. I'm not gonna even try to translate that in English. My brain is not working currently. So yeah, I haven't eaten anything all day for real, so I'm gonna go get some food. This is unironically turning out to be a day in the life of a medical student Forex trader, but I didn't even intend to make it this way. Okay, I'm back. So I finished the journaling. I just came to sit outside. Normally I go for night walks, but to clear my head and make plans and stuff, but I'm not gonna do that tonight. I just came outside to record the video and then go to sleep. I'm continuing the challenge tomorrow, man. I'm excited. Yeah, currently not nervous. So I get nervous from time to time, but I'm not nervous right now. So studying ICT has been pretty good so far. I'm glad I started because for some reason starting the challenge has opened my eyes to things I didn't see before. By studying ICT, while studying ICT. You get it? Like, doing the challenge opened my eyes to see things I wasn't seeing before, even while studying ICT. So I always try to keep the psychology intact as well. Taking losses are fine. It's not the end of the world. You just have to be patient and wait for the logic. Personally, I know one of the things I have to deal with is when you see the logic that these concepts provide, it's very easy to think you shouldn't take losses if only the logic is there. But there's so many other factors that go into this, right? Yeah. Besides the fact that you can be impatient and rush into trades that you don't have to take, sometimes your analysis is simply wrong. And you can actually be tricked into a losing trade. Even though my model has it offers a lot of protection, you can still lose. So I always try to keep that in mind, and it's fine. It's not the end of the world if I lose. I just have to assess, learn, do a self-review, and then move on to the next trade, the next opportunity that presents itself. So I'm continuing the challenge tomorrow, God willing, and I'm excited. I was a bit nervous before, but not anymore. Currently, I'm excited. I hope I take that excitement into tomorrow, to find the opportunities and hopefully pass this challenge, man. God day, Charlie, God day, it go be. You see, I get him say it go be. Yeah, so it's been a pretty good day. I did most of the stuff I wanted to do. So far, so good. That's campus. It's actually pretty nice here. Let me show you. Yeah. So, yeah. I'll go get some rest now. And wake up tomorrow, God willing. Yeah. So I'll share how the next week unfolds. I hope I'm able to post more videos next week. Even if I don't... regardless, I'll see what I'll do, right? I don't want to make any plans because I have nothing to plan for as far as YouTube goes. So, good night, fellas. Catch you in the next one.